what I don't get from some of the Toku community is their hate for Power Rangers, mainly MMPR. I've talked about this before, where if it wasn't for Saban, then we wouldn't have known much of Toku, and it wouldn't have been much known outside of Asia. And I'm not talking about, like, say, Godzilla or anything like that. I'm talking about Super Sentai, Metal Heroes, Kamen Rider, etc., etc. Now, I know there are going to be people saying that they knew about Toku before Power Rangers, or that Power Rangers didn't make Toku popular, and I will say this, it's absolutely bullshit. Power Rangers for years put a spotlight on Toku, so it could bring Sentai over outside of Asia. If Stan Lee, Saban didn't do this, then we wouldn't have had more eyes on it. Every year we're getting a new audience into it. So why is it that everybody hates it to the point where they'll put tweets out or they'll just completely bash Power Rangers? If it wasn't for Power Rangers, mainly we're talking about MMPR, then if Sentai came out, then it would have been on a TV station at 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning, and hardly anyone would have seen it back then.
Konnichiwa, Seira desu. Tokyo kara reporto shite imasu.
We are now transmitting video shots obtained accidentally by a tourist who was passing through the area at the time.
I'm standing in Anime HQ, the Orient, Japan, Tokyo, or to be more specific, Shinjuku. Shinjuku tte nan deshou ka?
I generally think it would have been like one of those anime shows like Martian Sasuke Nadesco, Escaflowne, shows like that didn't really make an impact back in the day, but they kind of do now. Mighty Morphin is probably the only kid show that would be that big, and nothing has really come close to beating it since Mighty Morphin premiered. So I really wanted to read this tweet to you, and it's from Gotcha_Go_Fire, and they say, me going back in time to stop Saban from ever adapting Zyuranger into MMPR. Now, at the time, I didn't know if this was a joke tweet or if it was serious, but I do think that at times, no one can really put out a proper conversation that doesn't have Saban sucks or Power Rangers is shit. It's just the standard basic arguments that hold no weight whatsoever. But let's talk a little bit about history. Tokusatsu started in its early development in 1908 to 1933. 1933 to 1945, we had Princess Kayaga, the daughter of samurai. Toku didn't become what it was until around about 1954 with the likes of like Godzilla. In 1971, Kamen Rider started, and in 1975, Super Sentai started. Look, let's not beat around the bush. Not many communities knew about Toku or Sentai. I'm not too sure on every country that had access to these shows, but America and most of Europe didn't really show them, otherwise Power Rangers wouldn't have taken off as much as it did. And we know in America, no major TV station would have taken Super Sentai because they didn't want it. We've had documentaries talking about the toys, about the show, where they said, oh, we don't want this won't actually grow in America. And until Saban actually came along and made Power Rangers, then we've seen it. It then took off because it was a big major thing. But again, Power Rangers did amazing and again put Toku on the map. The internet back then wasn't around much, and not many people had access to any of this information. You couldn't just find what you wanted today at a click of a button or type in the search engine for what you want.
And they're making history by becoming the most successful kids show ever. This top-rated series currently airs in 142 markets, including all of the top 10, covering 92% of the country and reaching 5 million kids a day.
We're hot.
Power Rangers, the #1 series for kids 2 to 11 and kids 6 to 11.
The numbers are more phenomenal.
With spectacular ratings like these, it's no surprise that Power Rangers is a bona fide phenomenon sweeping the country, and the press concurs.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. The Power Ranger. Power Ranger.
The Power Ranger.
The hottest TV show with kids.
Power Rangers.
You and I are going to become very familiar with Power Rangers. I just have that feeling.
The Power Rangers!
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is guaranteed to stay on the Fox Children's Network at 4:30 daily through August '95.
Way to go, Power Rangers!
February 15th, 1994, the Power Rangers are declared the official teen ambassadors of the Drug Abuse Resistance Education Organization. Now, these popular role models reach 25 million children with positive messages in classrooms nationwide. The Power Rangers have grown into a billion-dollar business with a vast array of licensed products from over 250 licensees worldwide. The eagerly anticipated Power Rangers Fan Club launched in May '94. It already has over 60,000 members as it continues to skyrocket in growth nationwide. Plus, in the coming months, national fast food and packaged goods promotions will further reinforce the enormous power of Power Rangers. The Power Rangers are the #1 kids TV show, #1 in merchandising, and now the #1 kids home video series. Since their home video debut, the Power Rangers have sold over 8 million units of their first 10 releases, continually topping the video scan charts. And yes, there's more. A live tour. It all started on February 21st, 1994. All of the Power Rangers make an unprecedented, sold-out live appearance at Universal Studios Hollywood, resulting in a staggering 53 news segments.
Their first explosive live U.S. appearance
In the flesh at Universal Studios today, the 6 teenagers are television's hottest action heroes, selling 50,000 tickets to kids who absolutely adore them.
unbelievable crowd.
And to turn a freeway into a parking lot.
A Power Ranger gridlock on the northbound Hollywood Freeway.
Their mere presence backed up freeway traffic for 10 miles.
Now, get ready, because the #1 children's program in America...
Name me a show that did that. I have never seen anything like this before, and I doubt it would ever happen again. Drawing in that sort of crowd, shutting down highways for 10 miles, filling out theaters at Universal Studios. Look, no matter how you look at it, Toku is a niche thing, and it still is after all these years. It's a random thing that, again, is big in Japan, but not really big outside of Asia. The fact that Power Rangers brought more fans to Toku, wherever they are watching it now, buying the product, the fact that Power Rangers has been showcasing more Sentai over and over again is something that I am grateful for. I've mentioned multiple times before that I didn't find out about Sentai until Ninja Storm and told that it was all about from Japan, and that's when I started researching it. But for me, I never really watched the credits all the way through, and I'm guessing not many people did as well, because sometimes they're the same, like they didn't know about Sentai until much later on. Even though the credits does say like, oh, this was adapted from, etc, etc. I mean, think of it back then, how many kids would sit down and watch the credits all the way through? And if you did, let me know down below in the comments, and good for you for doing it. But what I find weird that Toku fans will shit on Power Rangers because they hate it. I get that you don't like it, I get that, but I do think that without Power Rangers, people wouldn't know what Toku is, or wouldn't know it that much. Yes, we would have all found out about it at some point, but not at an early age. Also, remember, kids don't know about Super Sentai and they watch Power Rangers, and here is the secret. Those kids will still love the show when they get older. They will become a fan of Toku. So again, Power Rangers does wonder for Toku. Toku does amazing for Power Rangers. It's a hand-in-hand thing. And even if Toku and Power Rangers didn't come together anymore, then people are still going to come to Toku, as they want to celebrate, they want to watch, they want to lose themselves in the series. And even if they don't watch Sentai, then you still have Godzilla, Ultraman, and anything like that. So when people say they want to change things with Power Rangers, like Saban never having it, or the fact that they want Power Rangers to stop adapting it, then you have to look at it like this. All the people growing up with it, all the people getting into it now, are not going to have their eyes on it. So why would you want to take that away? Is it because you absolutely hate that fact? It's just interesting that I find that all these Toku fans probably were Power Ranger fans at the very beginning, and now they're like, oh, I don't like it, I don't like it. And in my opinion, if it wasn't for Power Rangers, then Super Sentai wouldn't be as popular, or some of Toku, without the fan base today. So again, I know that you hate Power Rangers, but put a little bit of respect into it, because you probably watched Power Rangers and thought, man, I really want to watch Toku now. Anyway, I thought I would talk about this. Do you agree with the video or not? Leave a comment down below and let's discuss. Thank you very much for listening and watching. If you like the content, like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to help out the channel, then consider joining the Patreon or maybe looking at the channel memberships. And as always, may the power protect you. I want to say a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, and I wanted to shout out Kimono Cat. Your help goes a long way to help support the channel, and if you want to help support the channel, the links to my Patreon and channel memberships are listed below in the description.
あらあら、チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとう。チャンネル登録、高評価お願い。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができるよ。